Hey, Eric Peacock here, Pure Vita Fitness, personal training, Lakeville, Apple Valley, Burnsville. Here to talk about Fat Loss Friday. So here's some fat loss mistakes I see quite often. I see people do these things that really sabotage their effort and keep them stuck. And nutrition's a big part of what you do, so you want to set yourself up for success. So these three things are typical things I see. So one is a lot of times we don't have an afternoon snack. And the problem when we don't do that is our blood sugar is then generally going to crash somewhere in the afternoon, and by the time we get home our blood sugar is really, really low, and that makes us really, really hungry. And typically what we see the pattern is people don't eat a lot of calories and nutrients earlier in the day, and they typically overload themselves at night. And one of the reasons is they don't have that afternoon snack. So one of my suggestions is to have a good balanced snack, a good healthy fat or protein mixed with a good carb, like say like a fruit and yogurt. Nuts are really good. Something about 3 o'clock to kind of break that gap between dinner and lunch, so you come home, blood sugar is more stable, you're not going to be as hungry, you tend not to eat as much. Number two is a lazy lunch. I don't know where people get the idea that going to Subway every day is healthy. I guess you're buying into the marketing stuff, but it's not, all right? It's Chipotle, Subway, those aren't the worst choices out there, but they're definitely not the best. You want the best choices. So I would say this: quit being lazy with your lunch and go into these so-called healthy options that are out there. Make your own lunch, be in control of your own food. I've said this over and over again. This is a discipline. If you want to see the results and get in shape for summer, you have to be good with your lunch. All right? I see a lot of people do this. They think Chipotle's healthy. And if you really kind of look at it, there's more calories and more sodium and more than you really need typically in a Chipotle lunch. So make sure we're making our own lunch. Number three is a lot of people think they can beat temptation, and that's just really not the case. A lot of people talk about triggers that set them off: boredom, emotions, stress, send to eat. So if you have things in the house that are kind of your kryptonite, I know my kryptonite's cake, so I don't want cake in the house because I know like if I won't just have one piece of cake. So allowing temptation, meaning if there's something, a food in your house that's your kryptonite, I don't care what it is, chocolate, candy, whatever it is, get it out of the house. Do not think you're going to beat that temptation, all right? I hear all kinds of excuses. Well, my kids need it, my dog needs it, whatever. My dog ate my homework. So get the temptation out of the house, so when the stress, the boredom, whatever comes on, it's harder to get to. You have to work to get to it. If you have to drive to get to it, if you drive to go get that temptation food, it might be time for some therapy. So those are your three fat loss mistakes for today. These are three things that just sabotage efforts. Make sure you're circumventing these so you can be successful. We'll see you next week at Fat Loss Friday.